Hey everyone, I'm Melanie from Streamlined Legal, where we help law firms get the most out of their practice management software. Tonight, we are talking about Clio Grow's newest feature, which allows us to have our forms in other languages. So, for example, it supports Spanish, it supports German, it supports a number of different languages. So, we're going to hop over to the screen so I can show you exactly what we're talking about here. And when we hop over to Clio Grow, we're going to come over to our forms section, and we're going to come over here, and you see right here it talks about having these forms available in French, Portuguese, German, or Spanish, which is just fantastic, especially if we're talking about an immigration firm or something like that. So we're going to come and take a look at our templates. Now we can create a new template, and when we do that, we can set a new language for that template. So we can have forms in multiple different languages. But one of the things that I think is very cool is if we already have a form. So for example, let's take this general intake form here that I have, and I'm going to go ahead here and duplicate this real quick. And when I do that, it makes a copy of that form down here in general intake form copy. And I'm going to go ahead and edit that. And when I edit that form, what you'll see is that the language is set as English, because that's what I had previously, of course. But I can come in here and edit it. And what it's going to tell me is that I can select another language, French, German, Portuguese, Spanish. In this case, I'll pick Spanish here. But keep in mind that it's only going to translate the fields in this form that are default Clio fields. So, for example, we'll go ahead and do that in a minute here and take a look. But what I think is the best part is that they are going to change the language of the text notifications that go along with this form, the submission confirmation that goes along with this form, the tooltips and the contact blocks. All of those are going to change into Spanish or whatever language I choose. So it's not just the form that we're changing, it's the accompanying text messages and confirmations and things like that that are going to be also in Spanish. Those, of course, are the messages that Clio creates by default. Additionally, it reminds us that if we have email templates that go along with this form, we should go ahead and translate those into Spanish as well. That, of course, we would have to do internally. But to create email templates that go along with this form that are going to be in Spanish or the same language as the form. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And what we'll see is that Clio now has changed on my contact blocks. It's changed all the different fields to Spanish, right? Now, of course, the questions that I created are still going to be in English, unless, of course, I edit those and update that translation. And then we've got our second contact block. Again, that was changed. And then, of course, all of these questions are the ones that I created, and I would have to go and go ahead and translate those myself and create those questions in Spanish or whatever language that we're using. So I really do think this is an excellent, excellent step forward, again, for any of those law firms that are serving different language communities. If we have immigration firms particularly, those can all be very, very helpful for those 4 different languages. And again, keep in mind that it's not just changing the form itself, it's actually changing the default messages that Clio is sending along with those forms as well. And again, we have the opportunity to go into our communication templates and change those into a different language. So now we can much, much better support our clients or potential clients that are speaking other languages. So do check that out in Clio Grow. Let me know if you've had a chance to translate your forms, and let me know how that works. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.